Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It is a great Friday morning. Today is Friday, November 1st, 2024. We get together with distribution partners most weekday mornings, 8 o'clock Central, or 2 minutes after today, which I apologize for. Wow, what an incredible October and an amazing strong finish. We had, I think, six of you that ended up hitting the $100,000 of commission mark in the month of October. So that is great. And I think many more of you will hit that in November. A lot of new distribution partners hitting the ground running. Some of you that have been around a while starting to get into your groove. So just very impressive. But you know what we say is we can't look in the rearview mirror. So we need to be focusing on November. We need to look at the month ahead. And I think what most successful people do is they plan, they set goals and work towards those goals. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do is to set goals. So let's talk a little bit about the goal setting first. It's important to understand we have two primary solutions. Now, when we say solutions, we need to be clear what the problem is, right? The problem is not our problem, but the marketplace's problem is most small business owners want to need capital. I believe that that's a fact. I didn't say all, but most of them do to start a business, to grow a business, to reach their potential. So that's a fact. But the problem is most of them don't have a fundable business. So it doesn't matter how badly they want or need money. They need to have a fundable business. They need to meet the underwriting criteria. Worse yet, a lot of them don't even know what it means to be fundable. So what we do is you and we educate to build financial literacy relevant to those topics, and we provide access to capital. And we're having great success with that. Now, there's two different solutions to that. And so often we call this the build option, the 4-week funding, which this screen is shown on the left, 4weekfunding.com. This describes the 4-week funding program. So it's a good solution. It's an effective solution. It's transparent. There it is. So that's the build option. And then we have the buy option, which means let's buy a shelf corporation, meaning the client buys it from you. And that way, all of this is addressed. Now, there's quite the debate of, well, is the shelf corporation better than the build? I don't think it's better or worse. I think it's definitely different. Definitely different. But it's just like thinking about if you wanted to go buy a house, you could either build a house, which means you find the land that you want to build it on, you hire an architect and you're able to draft everything up. You're able to pick all the colors that you want to have for your carpet and your walls and exterior of your home. So it's a custom build. So custom builds are not immediate. It takes 4 weeks, and we show you what we do each week. But it's good because we can customize it. The shelf corporation, it's already built. It's already assembled. So we have some clients. We have one gentleman yesterday. He signed up twice, once for the build, once for the buy. And we're increasingly seeing that. It's really up to the client. I don't think it's your role or my role to tell the client what's right for them, but you do need to let them know that you and we can solve their problem of access to capital, and there's two different ways. So that brief recap is just specifically because as we're setting our goals for November, we need to recognize that there are two different solutions. Most of what we're doing, with that being said, most of what we're doing is around the shelf corporation. Some would say, oh, yeah, because it's faster. Well, it is faster, but I don't think that's the primary reason that most of the clients are choosing the shelf corporation now. I think it's because it's easier. It's easier. It's already put together. A lot of people are busy. A lot of people, well, we'll just leave it as busy. And so they don't want to be involved with the steps. Well, at the Shelf Corporation, it's like hot and ready pizza from is it Little Caesars, right? You just walk in the door and you give them your $5 and you walk out with your hot pepperoni pizza. Here, you need to tell us what you want on your pizza, and we're going to have to make it, and it takes a little while to bake. Now, also when it comes to goal setting, we are going to need to determine which role are you going to operate in. And we spent a fair amount of time and energy recently trying to differentiate so everyone understands. And you're welcome to do either. It's not that you're locked out of it, but an affiliate, that's the simple role. Most of you have heard of affiliate marketing. They say 80% of medium and large businesses have affiliate marketing programs, but it's just a real easy concept. You refer in and you get paid. We provide you a free landing page, doesn't cost you anything, you get paid. We'll talk about money in a moment. But as far as the process, the role, super simple. Others of you say, no, I want to be more involved. I want to close the deals. Well, that's more involving. So take Joseph, who's on, and Joseph closed a deal yesterday, and I think he's closing another deal today, Shelf Corporations, if I recall correctly. So if you're going to act in the capacity of a WLP, white label partner, so that's private label. So you're taking our editable agreement, you're getting the client under contract, and then you're collecting the shelf deposit, because we're talking about the Shelf Corporation here. You're collecting the shelf deposit from the client. Normally that's $1,000, but I see some of you collecting more than that. And that's okay. You know, a bigger deposit, like, have you ever gone and bought a car and they ask, well, Greg, how much you got to put down? So the minimum that the client has to put down is 1,000, and that's split 50-50 with you and us. However, if they put more, that's fine, and we split it. But we had a client yesterday, he put 5,000 down for the shelf deposit. It's not costing the client more, it's just they're seeking to finance less, right? Because there's two parts when you finance something. There's the down payment, and then there's the balance. Okay, so as you're setting your goals for November, we want to focus on the Shelf Corporation, and then we'll probably use the 4-week as a backup. If we can't close them on the shelf, then we'll go over to the build. But in most cases, the shelf is the way to go, I believe, subject to you and the client's acceptance of that. And we're going to have to figure out, are you going to just refer in, or are you going to close deals? Obviously, the comp model is different for those two roles, and we're going to talk about the comp model in summary from a Shelf Corp perspective. So affiliates, it's crazy simple. So often I'll get a million different questions, but it shouldn't be difficult. Affiliates make 1,000 per conversion. So the affiliate is who. The what is a conversion, which means you refer someone into your landing page. They sign up, they pay for the Shelf Corp, and then that triggers 1,000 payout. It's those 4 words that tells the story of how the affiliate is paid. And people want to ask me a million different questions, but it's just that. Romeo's got a question, and I don't understand it exactly, but yeah, the Shelf Corporation incorporates all of this. It's not that the client's giving this up. I think what happened is I confused Romeo and maybe others. When I told you, which was true, that we had a client yesterday that bought both a 4-week and a shelf, those are 2 different capital raises. Those aren't meant to be together. Those are 2 different capital raises. Okay, so comp model for affiliates, crazy simple. Not crazy simple, more complicated, more moving parts for white label partners, but it's more lucrative. So first, they're going to get that 500 on the front end, which is exactly what we talked about here. So the numbers match, right? So $500 deposit, because it's a minimum of 1,000. It's fine to collect more from the client, fine. We split it 50-50, and we're going to do all the work. So there's number 1. Number 2, or letter B, is the white label partner determines what the sales price is of the Shelf Corporation. I'll tell you what I see standard, but you can do whatever you want. Standard has been $15,000. We know we need $10,000 to pay our vendors to cover our cost, and then anything above that is yours. So if you sold it at $15,000, how much would you make? You'd make $5,000. If you sold it at $20,000, how much would you make? $10,000. We have one gentleman, well, a couple, but I think Harold's one of them. I think Harold and the other people I'm referring to are selling it at 35,000. They're selling shelf corporations at 35,000. And so that's 30,000 commission. So anything above the 10, I'm sorry, 25,000 commission. Anything above the 10 that we need is what you make. And that should be an or, not a O. And then white label partners also get to pick what the performance fee is on the back end of the capital raise. So let's take Romeo, for example. Romeo sold a shelf this week that has paid in full. And then Romeo is going to make, on a normal contract, and again, you all control what your performance fees are, so I can't control that, but normally off of a $5 million capital raise, Romeo would make 500,000. Now you say, oh, that's too much. Well, then charge less. Or you might say, well, that's not enough. We'll charge more. See, as a white label partner, I don't think you could ever credibly come back and harp on us on pricing, because you're the one controlling the pricing, right? You're determining how much the shelf costs, not us. You're determining what the performance fee is, not us. But that gives you great flexibility. Okay, so we've covered two different solutions. We probably should be primary focused on the shelf corporation, two different roles. So as we do projections for the month, we're going to have to decide how you're going to close deals. Two different comp models, one for each role. But we're to the point, which was the goal of today's call. We need to set up some numbers for the month of November, because I think if we leave today's session without a quantifiable goal, I think you're much less likely to be successful. So I'd like each of you to take a moment, and I'm not going to share it with anyone, and you're not committed to it, so there's no strings attached, but type in to the Q&A, the question and answer. It's like a chat function of Zoom. What is your goal for the number of transactions in the month? Because obviously transactions translate into dollars, but I want to focus just simply on how many deals. How many deals are each of you planning to do this month? And if you could go ahead and type that in. All right, so we've got an interesting question. Let's see. Well, a couple of you've asked. Yeah, so if you're a white label partner, there are performance expectations that you've agreed to, right? So white label partners are more involved and more committed, but you're right. There is a committed number of a volume of white label partners. So if any of you have signed the white label partner agreement and you're giving me some number like 1 or 2, you're already planning to be out of compliance. That would be horrible. That'd be horrible. Why would you go into the month planning on breaching your contract, right? So as a white label partner, there's minimum performance activities, right? We all know that. We know that. Now, affiliates, not so much. Affiliates can be dabblers. White label partners are engaged. So as you're setting your goal for the month of November, don't plan to breach our agreement together. That's a horrible strategy. Now, you need to let us know what you need to reach your goals. So Corinthian's going to do at least 10. Greg's going to do at least 8. Joseph's going to do at least 4 to 8. But regardless of your number, you'll hold us accountable. Let us know what is it that you need us to do so you can meet your numbers. We've resolved the lead issue already, right? There's absolutely no reason that you tell me I don't have enough leads. And I'll say this, and I say it with reservation, but some of you aren't professional business developers, and that's not an insult, it's just an observation. So you'll have some leads, but it's contingent upon something. And it's like, well, it shouldn't work that way, right? That's like you bring in Mike as a client, and Mike's got 6 cousins, right? And Mike's 6 cousins say, well, once Mike's funded, then their 6 cousins will come in. That's fine. We'll do what we promised for Mike, but that's not a real funnel. When you have a funnel where the leads are waiting for something else to happen, that's not a normal lead funnel. So we need to have a lead funnel, a flow. We've talked about that. We've had great success working with Kyle. If you need leads and you don't have enough leads going into November, we've got to fix that right out of the chute, right? How in the world will we ever be successful in the month if we don't, in fact, have enough leads? Because we need leads, which result in conversions, which results in income. All right, so Donald asked an interesting question. So let me ask you, so those of you that have signed as a white label partner, what is the minimum number of deals that you've promised to do? That you've promised to do. Now we need to do what we promised, help you, support you, all of that. But just for clarification, do all of you know, and I'm almost embarrassed to ask this, are all of you aware of what you've committed to do on a monthly basis? Because if not, that would be a significant concern, because then your expectations are different than ours. Okay, well, I think everyone understands. Okay. So with that being said, okay, I see the question from Jeff. Yeah, so Jeff, you can wear both hats. You can be an affiliate as well as a white label partner. You can make a decision of how you want to submit deals in on a client by client basis. I think where we've had the most difficulty in the past is where people who were affiliates, they wanted something more, something different than the deal, right? So an affiliate program isn't where you're calling up and getting play-by-play updates and so forth. That's not what an affiliate program is. An affiliate program is you refer in and you get paid. You refer in and you get paid. White label partners, oh my goodness, we're strategically working with these individuals. And so sometimes the level of support that affiliates are asking for is inconsistent. It's, you know, the high level support and training needs to go to the white label partners. The affiliate just doesn't need to know that much. They get a landing page, they need to create awareness, drive people to the landing page, and frankly, get out of the way and let the closers close the deals. All right, so what is it that you need from us? So we'll close with this. What do you need from us to reach your November goals? Now, of course, we need to do what we promised to do. And that's true for clients, and that's true for referral partners. So absolutely, yes, we need to do what we promised to do. But separate from that, what is it that you need to hit these numbers? Because we have an incredible opportunity. We have an incredible opportunity to help a lot of people, make a lot of money, and most importantly, do what we promised to do. We need to hold ourselves to a very high standard. We need to do what we promised to do. And thus, we shouldn't say anything that we don't promise to do. Celino has a good question. As an affiliate, how do you know? So with an affiliate, we will let you know when you have an enrollment that generates a commission. So the affiliates are notified by us. White label partners know themselves, right? Because if you're a white label partner, you're the one getting the client under contract. You're the one getting the deposit from the client. Then we'll go ahead and get the financing for the balance, which triggers the 2B payout. Great question. So that's Celino's right on to. So there's significant differences between these two roles. One of which is the involvement, another of which is the responsibility, and then thirdly is the production requirement. So again, we just want to be clear. If you're a white label partner, you've promised to be an active partner. We don't need dabblers here. Dabblers here are crushing for our efficiency and effectiveness. All right, anything else I can do for either any of you? So here we are, Friday, interesting day, end of the week, but it's the beginning of the month. Typically November is our biggest month of the year. They call it the fall feast for whatever reason. That's not my terminology. So you should have an extraordinary November, but it starts with leads. If you don't have leads, you need leads. We recommend Kyle. If you don't know how to reach Kyle, get with Madison. She'll connect you. We don't sell leads. We don't charge for leads. We don't get kickback for leads. But everyone that's telling me so far, no one's told me different. Maybe there is difference, but no one's told me. Everyone that's told me that they've got leads from Kyle, they're averaging 5 hot leads, people ready to buy within the first 24 hours. So what's that worth to you? Well, let's say you converted 80%, 4 of the 5. Well, 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. That's not a bad day or a bad week, right, for most people. Or, of course, if you're a white label partner, 4 times this, and this could very well be 20, 30,000 or more. So the beautiful thing is the problem that we're solving is so large, access to capital, that we can generate a lot of money. In general, in business development or sales, if you want to call it that, the bigger the problem that you're solving, the more money you can make. Like if someone's hungry and we sell them a taco, what are we going to make? A couple bucks, hopefully a buck or two profit. But when we're solving big capital raise problems, the solution is very valuable. And again, you control what you want to sell the shelf for, and you sell what your performance fee is. Our budget or our plan, our forecast for the month of November is to sell between 800 and 1,000 shelf corporations. That is our expectation for the month of November. The question is, where are those going to come from? Tim, how many of those 1,000 are you going to sell? Celino, how many are you going to refer in? Tim, very talented, no results in the month of October. And so I don't want to harp on anyone, but some of you had goose eggs in October. Okay, let's hit the reset button, but it's time to perform, right? You're wasting your time and ours to sign up as a white label partner and not perform. Now, if you're an affiliate, you can be a tire kicker. You can be a dabbler. There's really no expectation of anything. All right, well, thanks, everyone. If you have questions, call Madison. She's busy, but she'll call you back. She's very good about that, or you can email her. And we'll see you back Monday morning. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.